What's going on, guys? Guys are back again on another MLB The Show 19 Diamond Dynasty video. And quickly, I do want to bring up the point, if you have missed it from other videos or you have not heard it from somebody else, the first roster update, the first actual attribute roster update is going to be coming this Friday on April 19th, along with the second inning program, as you guys can see right there. But of course, if you guys are from the channel from last year, you guys know I do my roster predictions. That will be live at 2:30 Eastern time every single Tuesday. So always make sure to be on the lookout for that. And you can make a lot of stubs through investing, which gets us on to, one second. My apologies. That gets us on to today's video, which is, of course, my second installment of my Best to Invest series. Of course, I made, I don't know how many last year, but I have done one so far this year. That was pretty much before the season. Now we're a couple weeks in and we know a little bit more. So the 5 guys that I do have on my Best to Invest list this time, I do have their statistics of what they've done so far and how that is going to factor in and how I think they will shape out. Of course, the whole idea behind this Best to Invest list is I tell you guys some pretty much silver and gold players that I think have chances to get good roster upgrades, and then their price is correspondingly going to increase. So you buy a lot of them right now, you stock up on a lot of them. So let's say, for example, I buy 25 of this silver player and then I hold on to him, and then when he goes gold, I can sell him, whether that be quick selling them for their quick sell value of 1,000 or selling them on the market. But of course, let's get right into it. The first guy that I do want to talk about is none other than Trevor Bauer from the Cleveland Indians. I will move myself pretty much up here for the remainder of this video just so you guys can see all the attributes. Trevor Bauer, you know, he's a known star. He was, I think, 3rd in Cy Young candidacy last year. I believe Verlander was 2nd behind Blake Snell. But Trevor Bauer, he's a known star, and he's been doing pretty well so far this year. A 2.29 ERA, 159 OBA, opponent batting average, 0.97 whip, walks and hits per innings pitched, and he has 24 strikeouts to 8 walks. So really what we're going to look for Trevor Bauer is that hits per nine going up. A 159 on base opponent batting average so far. That's pretty good. I think that has a lot of room to go. 24 strikeouts so far, I believe, in 3 starts. I don't see K per nine going up quite yet, but obviously this is just the beginning of the year, and I think he's going to have a really good year, another year that he is going to compete for the Cy Young award, and I just think it is a very good investment. As you guys can see, he's only going for 3.2k. I say this every time: do not buy him outright, put in a buy order. You're going to get him like 400, 500 stubs almost cheaper. So always make sure to be putting in buy orders and then stocking up on a lot of him. A lot of times you'll see somebody who have like 5-10 buy orders in on a player. That's because they are trying to invest in them most often. So Trevor Bauer, I think, is a very good candidate to go diamond this year, because of course the Indians likely are going to win the American League Central. I know the Twins are in there right now in 1st place, but I do think the Indians are going to take that. Of course, that means postseason opportunities. I think Trevor Bauer is a very safe investment, and of course, even at quick sell value of 5,000, you're going to be making about 2,000 stubs each and every Trevor Bauer that you do have. On to the next one, we have another pitcher, this time in the National League Central. We're going to be looking at Reese Castillo. This is definitely an interesting guy to talk about, because at the start of last year, you know, people are like, is he really all the hype? You know, he was really getting beaten up a little bit on the mound, but I think towards the end of the year, he really figured it out, and he's been sensational this year. He's been arguably the best pitcher so far this year. He has a 0.92 ERA, 0.82 on opponent batting average, damn it, 0.66 walks and hits per innings pitched, 25 strikeouts to 8 walks. As you guys can see, he has really, though, pretty much everything per nines. Hits per nine is only 69, K9 is 70, and then walks per nine is 62. I did not look up his home runs per nine, but that probably could go up as well, of course, as he has a very low ERA. But I don't think they're going to be super. It's tough to say. I definitely think he has a chance of going gold already, because he was, you know, he wasn't obviously doing this, but he was really improving at the end of last year. So I think, and I might put him on my roster predictions this week on Tuesday, because I think he has a good shot. Like I said, he's arguably been the best pitcher in baseball so far this year, and especially that hits per 9 as well, only at 69. 82 opponent batting average is very good, so I think that has a great chance of going up. I don't know about him going diamond this year, but getting him at 610 stubs, quick sell value once again is 1,000. I'm pretty sure Luis Castillo is a guy that will be going over 1,000 because he does have a lot of velocity, which gameplay wise means he is going to be pretty sought after. So I think Luis Castillo, unless he just falls apart, even if he, doesn't continue this pace, which is realistic, nobody can really continue this pace, he would still be a gold pitcher at some point this year, in my opinion. So that is a pretty safe investment, if I do say so. Getting on to a little bit of an interesting one, we have Trey Turner. The reason why he's interesting is because he's hurt right now. He's actually on the 10-day IL injured list because he broke his right index finger, I do believe it was, which I don't think is going to be a huge issue. It could potentially, but I really do not think so. But Trey Turner, in the 4 games that he's played this year, he has been really good. And 4 games is a very small sample size, but albeit he has been pretty damn good. He's hit 2 home runs in those 4 games, hitting 357, 857 slug. Of course, with Trey Turner, you guys can see his speed is definitely propelling his overall as a shortstop, because that is one attribute that definitely boosts their overall. However, he does not have much power specifically versus left-handers, but even versus righties, he's only at a 58. So if that could move up, 10 points aside, I think that alone could probably bring him up to the 85 overall diamond rating. And then his contact as well, he is hitting 357 once again through 4 games, but I definitely think Trey Turner is going to have a good year. The Nationals debatably are going to make the playoffs. The whole NL East is definitely going to be a bloodbath, except for the Marlins. But those 4 teams are definitely going to contend. So obviously, I talk about that a lot. It's going to be playoff opportunities for Trey Turner. I think he has a good shot. I don't know exactly when he is going to return. Like I said, it is the 10-day IL, so it's not going to be a large amount of time, but I do think he's going to pick up remotely right where he left off, and he will have a great year. On to the next one, we are talking about Blake Treinen of the Oakland Athletics. This is another guy just like Trevor Bauer who was absolutely dominant last year. So that, of course, if you guys remember, it is a 3-year average. So that's why you always have to look at people like Luis Castillo, who, didn't overall have the best year last year. It's tough to say. That's one thing about Blake Snell is he won the Cy Young Award last year, but his last 2 years, he wasn't that great. So I can see why he isn't gold, but why he's in diamond, but I think he definitely might have a chance to go diamond this week. Just keep on the lookout for that little hint. But Blake Treinen, really what we're going to look at is this 83K per 9. He is striking out 14 batters in I think about 10 innings so far, so that definitely has room to go. And then his walk 9 as well at a 70. He has 6 walks so far. He does definitely have to keep that up a little bit, walk a little less people, but I do think he has a good chance of going diamond. He is one of the best closers in the game, and a good thing about Blake Treinen is he's cheap. If you can get him at 1.9K, the quick sell value once again for diamonds would be a 5,000, so that's making about 3,000 a piece because there is no tax taken out of quick sells. So Blake Treinen, I think, is a candidate to make a lot of stubs on, so I think that is a very good reason to invest in him alone. And once again, he is one of the best closers in baseball, and I think people like him gameplay wise, so his price will probably be more than 5,000, so you'd make a little bit extra stubs on that. And then finally, getting on to our last player on this best to invest list, it is for the Phillies. It is Reese Hoskins himself. Reese Hoskins, once again with the Phillies, like I said, possible potential playoff implications for the Phillies in the NL East. And then of course they added Harper, they added Realmuto, who was kind of struggling this year. They added Gene Segura, they added Andrew McCutchen, they added a lot of guys around him, which if you guys know baseball usually means it is going to help out everybody else overall if you add more firepower to that lineup. But this year so far, 295 batting average, 727 slugging percentage, 12 strikeouts to 12 walks, so the discipline is already at 101, so I don't think it has much room to go. But really the interesting thing about Reese Hoskins is so far versus lefties this year, hitting 333, 2 extra base hits, so that contact versus lefties is really what's kind of keeping him from gold at a 79 overall. Once that goes up a little bit, I do think that will be, even if it goes up 5, maybe even 10, that will probably be enough to push him to gold. Currently he's going for 677 stubs, so He is going to be going for more than 1,000. I can tell you that already. A lot of people like Reese Hoskins. I really enjoyed using him last year. He was an event beast for me. A lot of power, so I do think his price will be probably around like the 1.4, 1.5 mark. So you can pretty much more than double your stubs when you do go ahead and sell him if you get him around 700. And I don't remember the exact stat, I could be wrong, but I think he has either tied for the most or the second most home runs since he entered the league in 2017. So Reese Hoskins, I think, is a very good candidate once again, and pretty safe because, you know, even if he keeps up hitting 275 versus lefties, that is enough to push that probably to around like a 50 mark, and that would put him at gold by itself. So I definitely think Reese Hoskins is another guy, and all of those 5 guys are players that you should be investing in. Once again, buy a lot of them. You know, it depends how much stubs you have. Like, I personally have a lot of stubs. If you guys need some tips to get stubs, top right hand corner, I just did go ahead and upload another stub method guide last night, so I encourage you guys to watch that. But yeah, I would encourage once again to you guys buy a lot of these, and hopefully they go gold, hopefully they go diamond, and then we can make a lot of stubs when they do, and then you can quick sell them, you can sell them regularly, and hopefully make a lot of stubs and maybe get some collections done, get the XP reward path up, and get all those signature cards. But if you guys have your own thoughts on who's going up in the near future, let me know down below in the comment section. Really cool to see who you guys always think, and obviously if I do like some of them, maybe might include them in my next Best to Invest Volume 3 edition of this year. But yeah, once again, roster update will be coming out on Friday, roster predictions for myself on Tuesday. Make sure to look out for that. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like down below. Hope you guys have a great day, and there you guys comes out. Yay.
Love is love, and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure, and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory.